Here at the Veterinary Center, we talk an awful lot about how important pelleted diets are for birds. Today we're going to discuss how to actually get your birds to eat some pellets. So, NutriBerries are a nice substitute for pellets when you're first converting because it actually is made up of seeds, but it also has a high percentage of pellets with it. Now, sometimes birds don't realize that this is actually food, and so if they're used to eating a seed diet, you can actually take two NutriBerries together and then crush them so it becomes a loose seed product. And then this looks more like the bird food they're used to eating, but it actually has all the nutrients sprayed on it and the seeds dehulled, so they're actually getting a really nice product. And this mimics what they're normally used to eating, so they're more adept to eat it. Other things you can do is if you're really bonded with your bird and they like to eat when you eat, or they're really familiar with you and they like to be around you, is actually using the food as almost an interaction with them. So you can put your bird here on the table and then have the pellets here. You can play with the pellets a little bit, get them engaged. You can offer them the pellets, see if they'll pick it up. They're probably going to drop it a few 30, 50 times, but maybe that 51st time they'll actually crunch it, give it a taste. And then you can actually act like you're eating it and then give it to your bird, because if it's not toxic to you, then it's obviously safe for the bird to eat. And then that way it gets them engaged with it. Some species, such as parakeets, little budgerards, or cockatiels, actually are in the wild are used to being fed on the ground. And so sometimes you can take a paper plate and put it on the ground of the cage and then drop the food on the plate, and then that will encourage them to go down there and eat. Also, the other tips is to act like a bird yourself almost, and you can act like you're pecking around the food pellets, because that'll stimulate them to want to pick it up in their own beaks. Now with the stubborn birds that just absolutely won't try the pellets, sometimes what we do is we'll take the normal pellets and we'll crush them up to a fine powder and then roll them on something they really like, such as a piece of apple or a piece of pasta. And that way they're actually tasting the pellets whenever they're eating their treat, and they're recognizing it as food that next time they actually try to take a bite. Now, we don't recommend mixing seed with the pellets because unfortunately the bird's really smart and they're going to pick out what they like, which is the seed diet. Instead what we do is call it a controlled meals method. And what that means is you're going to offer your bird their normal diet, 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening, so that way they get some food throughout the day. Now the rest of the day, the seeds are taken away completely and they're given the pellets instead. So that way if they're hanging out bored, they're kind of forced to eat the pellets. Now, this is a good idea. However, if you need to weigh your bird every morning before they eat anything to make sure they're not losing too much weight during this process. And then you can also try a different variety of pellets. So some birds really like the plain colored pellets, but some birds also like the colorful pellets. So there's no nutritional difference between a colored pellet and a plain pellet. It really is just preference. So if you're getting a bird that you're trying just one type of diet with and they don't like it too much, then try a different shape or different color, and maybe they'll be more adapt to giving that one a try. If you get very frustrated and you absolutely cannot diet convert your bird, remember here at the Veterinary Center we actually have the Great Pellet Exchange, where we can convert your bird from seeds to pellets and make sure it has a nice, happy, healthy life.